Hey guys, it's Penguin here, and welcome back to another gold making video. In this video, I'm going to be highlighting a few items that are super easy to make that are making tons of profit with the current Legion Timewalking and Mage Tower event going on. Now, I have made a video already about the Mage Tower, but it was more about showing off like the spreadsheet that I have created that basically goes over every single thing that you can craft to sell. But not all of those things on the list are selling as well as others, and also a lot of the things on the list require reputation or require kind of a big grind in order to actually unlock it. So I really just want to go over the very easy items that possibly you could be selling that you might not even know of, and just kind of showing you how well it's doing for me, and hopefully this can give you some ideas. Now, right now, the Mage Tower event has been going on ever since Reset Day, and it is here for 2 weeks. So if you're on NA, you know you're watching this on a Thursday, it came out on Tuesday, so you still have over a week in order to get sales in. And honestly, the same thing goes for EU as well. But without further ado, we are going to get right into this, and we're first going to be starting off with simple Shadowlands items which you can be crafting and selling. So the first major one, which you can see I have just sold right before recording this, are the Drums of Deadly Ferocity. Now, these are currently the best in slot drums. Actually, technically, all of the drums work evenly in the Mage Tower, so technically all of the drums are best in slot, but the best thing about the Shadowlands ones is that, you know, it's the most familiar with people at the moment, and also if you are somebody who's doing gold making, crafting with Shadowlands, as long as you have a leatherworker, you probably know this item. Now, as you can see right now, the price on my server is insanely inflated. Right now, it's at 1,000 gold, and that's because it got reset for this event. As you can see, the normal market value of this item is like the 400s, and that's even inflated due to the fact that the buyout has been very high. You can see at my past sales, which was about a month ago, the last time I sold these, they were only selling for like 180 gold. So especially if you are on a higher pop server with a lot more competition, your prices are probably not this high. This is just because of my server. I've gotten very lucky, but these are selling fast, and normally you will see that price increase no matter the server you're on. As long as it's profitable, it is definitely worth it. Now, if you are looking to craft this item, I do want to give you one tip, and that is if your drum price is inflated, your heavy desolate leather is also probably inflated. When I went to craft these, as you can see, my heavy desolate right now is set at 69 gold, which is very, very high and not a normal price. You can see my average buy is like 40 gold, around 40 gold. And so because of that, it does not, because of the price it's so expensive, it does not make the drums look as appealing. Now, of course, since they're all reset to 1,000 gold, it doesn't really matter, but depending on your server price, if you see this, you might want to watch out. So what I did and what you can do is if you look at normal desolate leather, for example, right now, standard desolate leather is going for 3 gold. And I guess if you wanted to buy a mass of it, you would be spending, 4.2 gold per. And so because you can turn desolate leather into heavy desolate, this is definitely a very great way in order to get around this super high price. Technically, to make this, I would have to buy leather at, 6.9 gold, and I'm saving about, 20 gold per heavy by crafting it using this. Now, that is what I did earlier today. As you can see, 9 hours ago, I purchased a ton of desolate, and my average buy price is about 3.8. So that is how you get around these high crafting costs. Now, of course, if heavy desolate and normal desolate is both reset, sadly, you cannot get around, but always check and see if you can do that middle step in order to make good profit. But the first item I did want to talk about was the drums, and as you can see here, I sold some 5 minutes ago. And if we want to look through the mailbox, as you can see, we do have some sales. You can kind of scroll and look through, but right there, we sold another 8 for about 9.5k, which is super awesome. But these are selling. They are currently being used, and they are super nice. Now, the next item I do want to talk about are the Drums of Fury. Now, if you guys did any sort of gold making pre-Shadowlands, you are probably very familiar with this item. This is a Draenor Drum, and honestly, it used to be like the best thing people could buy. Lots of people used it, and I sold thousands of them in the past. Now, because they were limited in level whenever Shadowlands came out, they were no longer useful. But because the Legion Tower, all of the past drums are equal, some people are smarter and they buy these drums because generally they are cheaper than the drum that I just talked about. But technically they both give the same buff. So I have also sold a lot of Drums of Fury recently. Now, this is just a simple Draenor item, so you do need Draenor leatherworking, but once you have that, then you should be set. You just have to go and learn the recipe. But all this takes is simple raw beast hide, which depending on your server, there may be a lot or there may not be a lot. Currently on my server, as you can see, it's pretty slim. I did have about 2,000 of it saved in my guild bank, so that's what I used to craft these other ones, but hopefully you have a pretty good set. As you can see in the past, my average buy price of this was like 2 gold a piece. It's of course risen a little bit, but it takes 5 of these to make 1 drum, and they're just super simple to sell. I mean, like I said before, this is 93 of them right here. We have another 146 right there. We have a single sale right there, and that just kind of shows you how much. As you can see, I was selling these for about 60, probably 65 gold a piece before the auction house cut. So I've sold, over 200, probably almost 300 drums just in a single day, and it has been super awesome. So I highly recommend looking into that item as well. Now, moving on to Inscription, I do want to highlight these Inscription pieces. Now, this is a Pandaren piece, and all you have to do is max out Pandaren Inscription, and then you learn these items from the trainer. Now, there are 3 of these greater inscriptions. There is the Tiger Fang, there is the Crane Wing, and there is the Tiger Claw. Basically, they give strength, intellect, and agility. And so all 3 of these are used in the Mage Tower for one of their buffs to their shoulders, and because of that, I have been selling a ton of them recently. As you can see, literally during this video, I have sold another one, and I will have to say that sadly, on my server, I do have people who limit the price. As you can see, this sold for 345 gold, and I will probably never get a sale more expensive than that because somebody has their max price set and they are not letting it go higher. However, the good thing is, as you can see, the region sale average is actually in the 800s, so more than likely on your server, you will be able to sell this for a lot more gold. Now, the good thing about this is that they are very cheap to make. You do need 3 Starlight inks to craft this, but if they are not available on the auction house or they're not available for cheap, all you have to do is buy very cheap Pandaren herbs. For example, I can buy all of these herbs for 200 gold, and then all you have to do is mill them and then craft the ink yourself, and then you're good to go. Honestly, because I've been selling these, I will probably buy this for future use. But just to show you guys, as you can see right there, we have another sale. We have a sale right there. Keep in mind, this is just, from this afternoon. I can't see if we have any more. It looks like we only have 2 right now, unless I'm skipping over some. But we have 2 right there, and then we also have 1 in the current auction house. And if we want to look at TSM, there we go. As you can see, in the past 30 days, I have sold 28 of these, which once again, because the price is limited, I've only made about 7,000 gold. But think about it, if you're selling these for 800 to 1,000 a piece, you can be making a ton of gold. Now, this is a perfect transition into the next category, which is gems. Now, gems is probably the best selling kind of units so far for Mage Tower, at least on my server, and throughout this video, we have been getting multiple sales. Now, the two that I really want to highlight is the Leviathans as well as the Kraken's Eye. Now, these are both BfA Gems, and all you have to do is have BfA Jewel Crafting leveled up, and then I believe one of them requires like level 150, and the other one requires level 175, and then it's simple as that, you have the ability to craft these. Now, as you guys can see throughout this video, these are selling very, very well. And honestly, I am just simply buying the uncut gem and turning them into the cut ones. There is the three versions of them. There is the strength, agility, as well as intellect. And honestly, the agility and intellect has been selling the best, but it just depends. I craft all three. So what I simply do is I look up Krakens, which I just bought the uncut gems. As you can see, I have two right here, which I bought 26 minutes ago. So every once in a while I do this, but as you can see, I bought these for 193 gold average. And as you can see, I am selling them for 1,000 to 10,000 gold. It is super awesome, and it is a huge profit margin increase. Now for the Leviathan's Eye, I believe the uncut gem just got reset. Yep, it's in the 1,000s, but if we look at my history, actually my smart average buy isn't even updated, but from the max price purchased, as you can see, I spent no more than 400 gold, and I'm selling these for at least, 700. So I'm basically doubling my gold by selling these Leviathan's Eyes. And so both of these have been very, very good. And like I said, most people, if you guys have been gold making for at least 2 expansions, BfA, you probably can craft these. If not, simply level that up and you will be good to go. It's a trainer learned recipe. So if we look at previous sales throughout the day, as you can see, we have 2 Leviathan's Eyes back to back. Then we got a Kraken Eye right here. Then we have another Leviathan, Kraken, which once again was like the 10k mark. And I think that's it for most of them. Maybe we have some more, but I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for the day. So there's a few good sales right there. And then, of course, if we do want to go back into revenue, there we go. In the past 5 days, I've sold 9 of these for about 9,000 gold. So nothing super special. But in the past 4 days, that means, I'm selling at least 2 a day. And since more people are doing the Mage Tower now, I have a lot in the mailbox, and, I just sold 4 right off the bat here. So just like that, these are very simple to do, and I highly recommend them. Then the last items that I do want to cover, once again, I am just going over the simplest items that you can craft, is yet another Shadowlands item, and these are the shaded items. So this is the shaded waystone as well as the shaded sharpening stone. Now both of these are simple blacksmithing Shadowlands crafts. They both require this simple item right here, and this waystone does require lightless silk, but if you are somebody who has very expensive lightless silk and doesn't want to do that, you can simply just do the normal sharpening stone. But they are super simple to craft. Like I said, you're buying this item for, maybe 1 gold a piece, and you're turning it into these items that are worth 35 to 40 gold a piece. Now, these are both very good buff items to weapons, and they're currently best in slot for the Mage Tower. So not only are these normally selling like they normally do for raids and etc., and Mythic Pluses, they are also now being sold to people trying to do the Mage Tower. And so just, in normal life, I'm selling a ton of these, but I have sold a lot in the past few days. There are quite a lot. We have some stones right here. We got 14 of them. We got 10 of the waystones. We got 60 of the sharpening back to back. And just continuing, we got some more sharpening. We got some more waystones. And yeah, they have just been very, very good. At the top, we have 20 of the waystones as well. 50 sharpening stones right there. And yeah, they have been selling super well. Also, just like I previously talked about, as you can see, we just sold yet another Kraken's Eye and yet another Leviathan's Eye. And actually, I'm now out of the Leviathan's Eye, so I'm gonna have to get on that. But once again, throughout this video, these are literally selling, so this should hopefully give you a good picture of how well these are doing. But yeah, guys, that is just kind of the simple items that I wanted to break down. Of course, like I said earlier, there are a ton of items, there are a ton of potions that I did not even talk about, and there's just so many good stuff that you can be selling, so I highly recommend checking out the spreadsheet in the description below to get you a full list, and surprisingly, you might have a lot of items available on those lists that you can craft. Like I said before, there are a ton of other gems, for example. There are a ton of Outland and Cataclysm gems that are best in slot, but they do require either dailies or reputation, so I'm not showing those off as I simply can't craft them myself, and because, you know, the general public who does not or has not done old world jewel crafting will not be able to do so either. But that's why I highly recommend checking out the list, because you might realize that you do have that item, and some of those are selling for 8,000 to 10,000 to even 20,000 a piece. Same thing goes with potions. There are a ton of best in slot and second best in slot potions that are selling very well, even though I don't have a ton of personal experience with them. There's also food and cooking on the list, and enchants on the list, which are all super great things that you could be selling that I just did not have time to highlight in today's video. But thank you guys so much. This, once again, is a little bit different because I am kind of actively showing you guys through the auction house, so let me know how you like this. But thank you guys so much for watching, and actually, we got a very nice sale right here with the Dune Scavenger towards the end of this video, so that was lucky, but thank you guys so much for watching, and of course, have a good day.